Okay, today what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to graph ellipses, and this is going to help you with worksheet number 2. The two examples that I'm going to show you first are not on your worksheet, so I need you to pay attention to those, and you can write them down on your notes as we go through. So the first thing I want you to notice is which number is bigger on the bottom. Okay, so if I start looking right here and looking at my item that's bigger, then 9 is the bigger number on the bottom, so that means that it is going to be my a squared. So that is a squared. That means this is b squared. Now, knowing this tells me what kind of ellipse that I have, whether it's going to be equation 1 or equation 2. So when I go over here and look at my chart, I notice that for a squared to be the bigger one, it has to be, and it's on the bottom of y, it has to be equation 2. So this particular function is equation 2 on your chart. Now, since it's equation 2 on your chart, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go ahead and talk about all the items that go with equation 2. So the first thing that we want to go ahead and find is the center. And the center is HK. And since the center is HK, all you have to do is go over to your parentheses. Your first parenthesis is x plus 5. You take x plus 5, you set it equal to 0, you solve. That x coordinate is negative 5, so negative 5 is the first point of your center. You do the same thing for y, and you're going to find out that y is going to be 4. So negative 5, negative 5, positive 4 is your center, and now we can use our center to help us find everything else. Now you've got several things that go on. You've got to figure out what C is so that you can find the very last item. So we're going to do that next. So it tells you, so this is step 1, I found my center. Step 2, let's just go ahead, instead of finding our C, let's go ahead and find our vertices and our co-vertices. Okay, so our vertices for this particular one, its formula is H, comma, K plus or minus A. All right, well, if you know a squared is 9, you come over here and take a squared is equal to 9. If you take the square root, you know a is going to be 3. So all I have to do is start filling in. So you'll have two answers for your vertices. You're going to have negative 5, which is H, and you're going to have K, which is 4, and I'm going to write that again, and then you're going to do plus or minus A. A is 3. And you're just going to find your answer. So when I find my answer, I have negative 5, 7, and negative 5, 1. Those are my vertices. Okay, step 3, we're going to find our co-vertices. So to find my co-vertices, I look to see what it's supposed to be, and it is H plus or minus B, comma, K. All right, there's your formula. So that means I'll go ahead and set my stuff up. So H, we already know, is negative 5. It's going to be plus or minus. And we need to figure out what B is. So B squared is 4. So if I take B squared and I take the square root, B is going to be 2. Okay, and since B is 2, I'm going to go ahead and plug that in, comma, and then whatever K was, which we know is 4. And then I just find my 2 points. So the first point is going to be negative 5 plus 2, which is going to be negative 3. and this is 4. All right, now I'm going to do the other one. -5 minus 2 is -7, comma 4. You're not doing anything with the 4, you're just bringing it over. All right, so step 4. It asks me to find my foci. All right, before I find my foci, I have to know what C is. So the little formula that you're given is B squared equals A squared minus C squared. So we're going to go ahead and plug in our stuff. So guess what? We know what B squared is. It's 4. We know what A squared is. It's 9. So I'm going to subtract 9. 4 minus 9, let's see, that's going to be -5. If you divide by -1, you're going to end up getting C squared equals 5, and then you're going to take the square root. So C is equal to square root of 5. Now, I didn't write down my formula for my foci, so let me write it over here. It is H, comma, K plus or minus C. All right, so we're going to have to plug in for it. So I've got to do it twice, just like I did before. I'm going to kind of spread it out here. So H was 5, -5. Notice I'm plugging it in for both. You have 4. And then you have plus or minus C, which is square root of 5. Now, I want to know what that's really going to be, so I'm going to put that in the calculator so I can find my answer. So 4 plus the square root of 5, putting that in the calculator. And as the decimal, it gives me like 6.2. So this point is -5, 6.2. All right, if I do the other one, same way, I'm putting it in the calculator. 4 minus the square root of 5. It's like 1.76, so I'm going to call it 1.8. Okay, now I know where everything goes. So I got my foci, my center, I've got everything. Now, since y is going to be the major axis, this is going to go up and down. So let's go ahead and graph our center first. So my center is -5, 4. So -5, up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. There's your center. All right, we're going to graph our vertices next, which are -5, +7, and -5, +1. All right, now we're going to go ahead and graph our co-vertices, which are -3, and then up 4. And then you have -7, up 4. And if you'll notice, your dots kind of make a cross. So if they don't make a cross in some form, then you got one of your dots in the wrong place. Okay, now I've got my foci to go ahead and do, but I'm going to draw my ellipse first. Just do the best you can. All right, there's my ellipse, and I'll just do my others in a different color. So that's going to be -5, 6.2, and -5, 1.8. And they should land inside. So that's all of the very first example for equation 1, or equation 2.